Somebody says, you got a Celebi back there just chilling. Yep, yep. Hey, that Celebi story is deep for me, man. I got that Celebi for a reason. And it has to do with synchronicity, David Wilcock, and Pokemon. Synchronicity, David Wilcock, and Pokemon. Quick story, I'll go ahead and get that out just so we talked about it. So essentially, when I was having that awakening back around 2011, things were getting deeper. I was already thought I was deep, but as I got deeper, man, I just started having all of these crazy encounters and experiences. Started hearing about synchronicity. I found the work of LCOB, Lost Children of Babylon, their music. Started listening to Coast to Coast. Started having my own encounters. Found David Wilcock's 2012 Enigma. I'm watching that, and David Wilcock is talking about these this ringing in the ears that you would hear. And you know, when you get quiet, some people hear this really loud ringing sound in your ears. And he went back to ancient Egypt, and he showed like these different writings and stuff and these diagrams on how that when you would get quiet and you focus on the ringing in your ear, that you can actually time travel and leave your body by focusing in on that pitch, that frequency. We put tones and frequencies like that on to meditate to anyway, right? But if you get quiet, some people hear that high-pitched noise. I hear it. So that was the first time I heard somebody speak about that in a documentary or ever. And I've always heard that sound every time I would get quiet or try to go to sleep at night. It would be so loud. They say it's a medical term called tinnitus. I had it as a little kid. You know, I'd get quiet and you would hear it. It's a tune, man. It's a tone. You're in tune with the frequency. I watched the 2012 Enigma. David Wilcock mentioned it. The next day, come home from work, I'm laying down on the floor and I'm watching the Pokemon movie with my daughter. We're watching Pokemon, and all these little creatures are flying around and stuff. And there's a little creature in the back there, Celebi. He's a Pokemon, and he was in the movie. And so they were being chased through the woods by the bad guys. Like they were trying to catch the Pokemon so they can use their power for evil. They're chasing Celebi and the kids. They're running through the forest, and they stop, and they heard this loud pitch, high-pitched frequency in their ears. They said, "What is that?" It's Celebi. If we focus on the tone, we can time travel. We can leave. And they got quiet and they focused on the tone, and they held Celebi or caught him or whatever, and they traveled right when they were fixing to get attacked by the bad guys. They heard that tone and they time traveled. I was like, this is synchronicity. And that was like some of the first synchronistic things that started happening in my life, and it would started happening like crazy. I mean, a lot of times when people start having these synchronicities, it starts freaking them out. Like you say, we just said earlier, like we laugh at it now. We have synchronicity so much now, we laugh at it. My daughter still don't understand. She laughs as we get a kick out of it. We'll say a phrase, and literally 1 second later, somebody on the TV will say the same phrase, or something on the radio, or you'll say something and there'll be a billboard that passes and it has that same phrase that you said. Crazy stuff. It gets really deep. And if you follow the signs with synchronicity and follow that stuff, man, you will be where you're supposed to be. I truly believe that. I truly believe that that's how God speaks. I believe it's God's breadcrumbs. Like Hansel and Gretel, you go through the woods, you put them breadcrumbs out. I believe it's God setting out breadcrumbs, letting you know, like, hey, you're on the right path. You're headed in the right direction. Just letting you know, hey, look at that sign. Hey, look at this. Hey, open this door, close that door. And you start seeing these signs, man. Follow the signs. So that's what Celebi represents for me, the awakening, synchronicity for me. So I found that doll, so I had to buy it, man. This is beautiful. It reminds me, you know what I'm saying? There's different things that we have of symbols, of tattoos, of monuments in the scriptures, man. The Israelites would conquer a hardship or go to another nation or whatever, and they would build a monument. And that monument was that every time that they would see that, it would remind them of the thing that God did in their life. And it's the same way with us. We get tattoos, or you wear the symbol of a cross on your neck. And every time you see that cross, it reminds you of the work that God did for you. So it's beautiful. I've got many more stories about synchronicity and about how you follow the signs. Like Somebody's mentioning here, says, how does Pokemon synchronicity show you're on the right path? Sometimes my synchronicities seem meaningless. Sometimes they do. I mean, because like you would think that, and I've heard people say, pay attention to the information that comes through because it's key information. Not all the time. Sometimes it's just that pat on the back. It's just the humor of God, just to let you know, hey, you're not alone. I'm watching you. Like, you're going the right direction. But sometimes the information that comes through is legit. And it'll lead me to this next synchronicity. This was for a friend of mine. This was a guy some years ago who he was into my music. He was into my teachings and what I bring to the table. But his church wasn't. Like, he was on the fence about me. He liked the spiritual concepts and what I bring to the table, but some stuff, aliens, nah, kundalini, nah, like you can't go there. There's those trigger words for some people. Some people, everybody has their own trigger. So he had his, and he's like, nah, I like TruthSeekah, but I'm not gonna reach out to him, because he was thinking about messaging me and actually wanted to contact me, and so he was thinking about doing it, but he said no. He's sitting in traffic. He's actually at a red light in traffic in Louisiana, over 2.5 hours away, and he's scrolling through his Facebook about to message me, but he's like, nah, I'm not going to message him. I don't want to contact him because I might take you down through there. So he looks up in front of him. There's a Seek Truth bumper sticker. I had a bunch of bumper stickers back in the day. A big Seek Truth bumper sticker, TruthSeekah.com. He's sitting in traffic in Louisiana, debating to call me. He looks up. He sees the bumper sticker. Says, okay, God, I'm going to call him. So he ends up calling me. He gets in touch with me, sets up a meeting. We plan this big event. We go to Louisiana to do a float tank experience that we documented. And we went to his house. He had us over. We got to go visit and pray with him and get in the spirit and fellowship about what God was doing in our life. And we started a relationship. Pay attention to the signs. Sometimes it's just a pat on the back. Sometimes it's about walking through the doors that God's opening for you. And sometimes we need, in Christianity, they call it confirmation. The Lord gave me confirmation. I was going to call TruthSeekah, but then I seen the sticker. He just confirmed it for me. Confirmation. Everybody has their own way of putting it, synchronicities and things like that. So Celebi, David Wilcock, the information that came through, yeah, those tones, frequencies, meditating, it means a lot to me. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast segment, be sure to listen to the entire episode by clicking the video to your right. Also, we are on iTunes. You can download the MP3 versions as well. Be sure to subscribe for future episodes.